And now for this month's Lifelong Learning and Arts presentation. Lafayette's mission statement calls out our commitment to lifelong learning, and through organizations such as the city's Public Art Committee, the city seeks to embed the arts in our civic life and in the fabric of our community. In 2026 and 2027, we will help strengthen these civic values through presentations at the beginning of the first council meeting of each month by an organization that offers lifelong learning opportunities or promotes appreciation of the arts. This month's featured organization is the Friends of the Lafayette Library. And I have to say, this morning I attended the Friends annual meeting, and there are organizations in Lafayette that are real pillars of the community who have done so much to make Lafayette what it is, and the Friends of the Library is certainly one of those organizations. Its primary mission is to support the programs, collections, and services of the Lafayette Library. Tonight, this year's president of the Friends, Cherry Sprague, together with Ellen Rinchis and Kaz Kazanoff, will tell us about the activities of the Friends that promote lifelong learning and the arts. And Cherry, you did say this was a no PowerPoint. Okay, if you'd prefer to speak from the podium, you're welcome to do that, whatever is. Hit it one more time.
Okay, there we go. Okay, thank you. Okay, so thank you, Mayor Andrew and other council members for this opportunity to share the mission, programs, and operations of the Friends of the Lafayette Library and Learning Center, or as you just know, it's the Friends, okay? Our mission as a nonprofit organization is to support programs, collections, and services of the library. Since 2009, the Friends Bookshop has been on the lower level of this complex at the corner of First Street and Golden Gate Way. Some people still try to find us and think we're the library, but we keep trying to stress that, okay? Our mission is support programs, collections, and services at the library, okay? Our organization relies on the public to donate their used books, and we rely on the public to buy our gently used books at relatively reduced prices. Typically, we have a half-price sale about once a month that allows us to continually add new books to our inventory that hovers at about 20,000 books. There are currently 5 officers and 13 other members of the board who have specific roles, and some of these individuals have other roles in the organization as well. 8 of our current members have served as the president, okay? So we have monthly meetings that allow us to keep abreast of our financial status, particularly our book sales, and to update our operations and programs, and that you will hear about from some of my friends pretty soon, okay? Our monthly meetings also include Rob Tygut, who is the head librarian here, and Sarah Blumenfeld, who works with the Contra Costa County Commission, and Carol Varney as the director of the foundation. Our intent is to align in word and deed with those who share this great complex at the heart of Lafayette. What you see in the bookshop relies on what goes behind the doors in the back of the bookshop. This incredibly small area that has about 4 computers, 2 printers, and stacks of books waiting their turns to be priced and shelved. There are a bunch of group of volunteers who process the books and get them onto the shelves and sold. So right now I'd like to bring somebody who runs most of this for us and knows lots about the operation, our immediate past president, Kaz Kazanoff. Thanks, Cherry.
So you're going to hear today about some of the wonderful programs the Friends runs, but we really spend most of our time day to day selling books to support the library. Every year we donate around $100,000 to the library to support the efforts that have been mentioned. We used to do this on a limited basis in really small spaces, like little tables at the community center and stuff. But 16 years ago, when this beautiful library was built, some folks had the foresight to build a proper bookshop, and thus Friends Corner Bookshop was born. As Cherry mentioned, we have about 20,000 books in the bookshop, all donated to us by the community. Everything it takes to run the bookshop and to run our board of directors is done by volunteers. We're open 45 hours a week, and we have about 90 people volunteering in the shop. During the pandemic, we took advantage of the time the shop had to be closed to computerize our inventory, take that step into the 21st century. We also started taking credit cards and Apple Pay, which after many years of only cash and check. But what this system means is each book is considered individually and priced individually. So gone are the days of $2, $4, $2, $4. Each one's individually considered. So that takes a lot more time. It also means we have a lot more data to run the shop. And I want to acknowledge Ellen, who creates amazing reports that really help us get a handle on what's going. Here's a few stats for calendar year 2025. Our pricers, maybe 15 or 20 of us, priced 48,000 donated books. We sold almost 39,000 books and raised over $135,000 on books. And then we've, just for fun, about another $8,400 in puzzles, games, and DVDs. As Cherry mentioned, we have half price sales almost monthly, and everything in the shop is half price. Our children's section is really amazing. And though the children's books are generally lower priced and are only 16 to 18% of our inventory, they tend to represent about 25% of our revenue, at least in 2025. So it's amazing. I've lived in Lafayette for quite a long time, and I've seen the power of volunteerism from the early days of youth sports to this very city council. And I'm just constantly amazed by what we do at Friends Corner Bookshop with our ragtag posse of amazing volunteers, running an actual retail store where you have to be open a certain number of hours and there have to be people working. So we're so honored to have you, Mayor Endry, at our annual meeting where we got to celebrate our volunteers once a year at least. And I'll pass it back to my colleagues.
Well, our next speaker is Ellen, right, Jess?
Right. So I'm going to talk about the Wonders of the World program, and that, or WOW, and that's really what we call it, is WOW. And that name came from one of our prior volunteers many years ago, Ruth Bailey, and perhaps some of you might have known her. So WOW was sponsored by the Friends since 2012, and it brings together speakers from art museums, gardens, and other similar interesting organizations to the library once a month from October to May for an afternoon of serious but fun learning. And some of these speakers are hilarious. You can't imagine how they can take what could be a very dry topic and make it, extremely interesting. During the pandemic, we ran the lectures on Zoom for 2 seasons. WOW is free to the public. So our audience is primarily older adults from central Contra Costa County and adjacent Alameda County. We have people who come from Berkeley and Oakland and a few other places. And sometimes we get people farther afield depending on the topic. And when we first started WOW, our audience was mostly in the 25 to 50 range. And the program built a following over the years. And now most of our events draw 75 to 150 people. On Wednesday of this week, 2 days from now, we have a speaker from the Fine Arts Museums coming to talk about their big current exhibit, Monet in Venice. And we have 175 registered and 20 on the waiting list. And that can be interesting. We've only had to turn people away a couple times in the entire time we've done this. We have a core set of organizations and speakers, and that includes the Fine Arts Museums of San Francisco an independent speaker who focuses on modern art, and we have the Asian Art Museum. And then we supplement these with speakers from other museums and gardens, which are often smaller or farther away. And so to give you a flavor of our mix, over the past 2 seasons, we've had the fine arts come 5 times, the independent modern art speaker 3 times, the Asian Art Museum twice. And then we've had these one-off organizations, and that's included Lafayette Public Art, UC Berkeley Botanical Garden, the Gardens of Golden Gate Park, Salesforce Park, the Contra Costa Search and Rescue Team, and the Oakland Zoo. And so while I'm the coordinator, it takes many people to make this program successful. And these include, I have 2 teammates who work on developing the new organizations, because that usually takes a lot more time than going back to the museums. We have other members of the Friends who welcome people into the community hall and help manage the check-in process, which can be hectic on days like this upcoming Wednesday. We occasionally get help from the library staff if a patron has questions on how they can sign up for one of these. The foundation advertises the events in the weekly email. Then the building staff does a fantastic job, not only of setting up the room, but also making sure that the technology always works. And the fine arts museums in particular once told me that this is the go-to place their docents want to come, because they never have a problem, unlike some of the other 100 places they go to. So the Friends of the Library underwrite the cost of the WOW program. That includes speaker fees for the core organizations, occasionally other speaker fees, and the rental of the community hall. And so the total investment in this program for all the people that come here is about $3,500 a year.
And I'm going to talk about the final program that we have. That is the Sweet Thursday. That is really under the direction of Lori Miles, but she's not with us tonight, so I'm going to try my best to represent that. So the Sweet Thursday, Lori coordinates the room arrangements, secures the author, takes care of the details of the programs, gets the room set up. She takes care of all the really many ways in which she advertises this event. She does digital media, and she also goes around and still does the old-fashioned put the flyers up around the places as well. And she has really, in her administration of this, skyrocketed our attendance. It's now almost also pretty well full on the Thursdays that we have it. So as this gets its name, because it's on the 3rd Thursday of the month here in the Don Tatson Community Hall, the sweet refers to the cookies made and delivered by teams of mother and daughters from the organization of the National Charity Leagues. And then we have another director, Dorothy Walker, who sets up the refreshment area and the tables. And the hall opens at 6:30 to allow time for coffee, tea, sweets, and mingling. The program then starts at 7 o'clock. There are also 3 other members on this team, Ruth Thornburg, Robin Holt, and Jeff Deaton. They rotate the events, being the event's host and moderator. They guide the discussions by reading select passages and taking thoughtful questions that nudge the author to share their development of the book, their reasons for structure, characters, and sometimes a lot of personal and juicy little stories pop out. There's always time for questions for the audience, and the programs are energizing and engaging. Often, Orinda Books also provides on-site selling of the books after the discussion. So Thursday, 21st, we have our Sweet Thursday will be Mark Purdy. He's covered the 49ers for 31 years as a columnist for the San Jose Mercury News. He shares decades of memorable players and legendary plays in his publication, The San Francisco 49ers, an Illustrated Timeline. So if you are free this 21st, drop by here at 7 o'clock, okay? And now we have the final one, which is our final program. Again, Kaz is going to talk about this for us.
Finally, my pleasure to tell you a little bit about our bookmark design contest. We run an annual competition which draws submissions from all the schools in the Lafayette School District, plus the Mayor's School and St. Perpetua, TK through 8th grade. Something like 500 students each year participate in the bookmark contest. And we take these 500 bookmarks by the grade order, and we throw them on a table, and a group of us stand around and judge them, which is a very tough thing to do. We then honor them in an awards ceremony on campus here, and their parents and grandparents come, and they're given some gift certificates to local bookshops, a gift certificate to get their bookmark framed at Anthony's Custom Framers, and they're just celebrated. We also have an honor roll because you can only win once, but we have students that come back and back and back on the honor roll. You know, they started in 3rd grade and they won, and every year they're back with another treasure, and sometimes siblings too. So it's really wonderful tradition. It's another part of the things we do. I brought some bookmarks to share with you. May I bring them to you?
Yeah. So was that ending your presentation? Okay, we're done. Okay, okay, thank you. Okay.
Well, thank you for all you do. Any comments, questions from the council? Public comment.
We have no public comments on this item, Mayor and Dory.
Okay, well, great bookmark.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.